Hello. Hi. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. 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 Yeah, it's Linda Absatz from Go for the Joy. And perhaps I should just say more. I'm an intuitive, a medium. I have had so many things that I have done in my life. So many things. I've owned a pet store. I've owned a metaphysical bookstore cafe. I've worked in restaurants. I've worked in retail. Even ran an elevator at the old Eaton store downtown Toronto. How about that? I worked security at a tennis match in Toronto back in the day. What else did I do? I used to do door-to-door surveys when that was a safe thing to do. I did one for CRA that was a 3-hour. Can you imagine someone coming into your home to do a 3-hour survey? And yet people would do that with me. I was only in my early 20s. I must have had that kind of face. And there was a criteria. It wasn't just anyone. You had to have the right criteria for that. And apparently, I got enough to do it until I got rather tired of door knocking. I worked for a scaffolding company in the office. I think, what else have I done? It's almost like, what haven't I done? I worked in cafes as well. So today, has anyone noticed the tension in the air? The tension in the energetic tension that's hanging around. It's palatable. It's like feeling like waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? That's what it feels like for me. And it's tiring. And it seems to have lifted a little bit. It's kind of like it lifts for me in the evening. It's like the East Coast back there, wherever East is, has quietened down. And the West Coast can go. So you think of the East Coast in Canada and the US, that's where all the political stuff is, the big, Ottawa, Washington, D.C., all that stuff. It's all happened earlier in the day around the world, actually. So in the evening, as that's when it lightens up for me. So let's pull a card around the tensions in the world. How about that? How about that? Because it feels like a global thing. Just look, someone messaged me, and I don't know where that message is. And I don't see a comment. Let's see, messages, notifications. I'm going to switch the other screen just for a minute. Oh, that's why I'm in a group message. It's a big group. I'm going to leave it on because if I don't, I'll forget that I have to respond to that. Don't normally. Okay, global tensions. So, asking my spirit guides to be present and to bring the information through that's going to be most helpful for everyone moving forward. And for anyone feeling this tension and thinking that it's theirs. And it's not, right? It's not. Okay. So the first card is forgive and forget. Okay, guys, you're going to have to help me with this because it came up and I'm like, what? What is this about? So forgive and forget. There's going to be a lot that's, okay, I'm hearing there's going to be a lot that's going to be revealed. A lot of information that's going to be revealed. And it's going to create a lot of fuss, a lot of uproar, as it were. And it's really going to set people into two camps. As in, I don't believe that. That's not possible. And see, I told you so. And so those are the two camps. And so, and in those two camps, then words might be, words are likely to be said. So I'm hearing just hold your counsel. Just don't get involved in any of these conversations. Just hold your tongue and let it play out. Just let it play out. Because if you don't let it play out, if you don't hold your tongue, then you'll find yourself in a very awkward position, and you'll escalate the tensions that are surrounding the information that's going to be revealed. And excuse me, and so when is this information? Are we looking at in a month or 2 months, next week? What's the timeline? Though they're not great with timelines. Next week there's something going to come out. And then it's like there's like a rollout of all this information that's really going to be shock a lot of people. Shock and awe. I'm hearing shock and awe. Almost like, oh my God. And if you've been paying attention to the news at all, then you might not be so shock and awe. But the people that haven't been paying attention to the news, or the people who have been believing been believing some of the one particular viewpoint. And I'm hearing around Trump and around this whole thing. It's so interesting because I'm on Twitter, and if you're on there at all, you can begin to question, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Are they right? And it's so freaking pervasive that I can see how people get sucked into it. I really can. And so it's like they can't, what they're seeing and hearing, they're just taking verbatim like that's the truth. I mean, what president accepts a $400 million plane from the Saudi Arabian government? Like, who does that from the Saudi Arabian government? It's boggles the mind that definitely there has to be relationships with different governments and different cultures and stuff. There has to be. There always is. But when you put yourself in bed, and that's what he's doing. He's putting himself into bed with the Saudi Arabians by now, whether I don't know whether he wants this plane, and whether better minds will prevail and go, this is not a good idea. I have no clue. But it shows you where his head is at. It shows you where his head is at. So he's definitely a man that wants what he wants, and he loves the money that is over there, the money and the glitter, the gold. He loves that. Really, the king, like that whole kind of king thing. So this card, the second card I pulled, which was to kind of give me some clarification on forgive and forget, was refine your attention. So refine your attention so you're not getting pulled into all the little sidebars. I'm hearing all the sidebars, because you can get lost in all those sidebars of information and kind of lose track of the story. Good journalists follow the story, and they'll go off and side and go here, but their attention is on the story itself, and how does that unfold. So there's a story unfolding right now, and the story is, I'm hearing a president that's going to fall, fail, And this is for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm doing this for fun, believe it or not. This is sure interesting. So, um, yeah, that's that. So talking about and Trump, he loves the gold. He's got so much gold now in the White House. He loves his gold toilets. I mean, who needs to take a you know what in a gold toilet? Like, why? Why? But so be it. I will pull your card later. I want to talk of there's a show on TV called Lottery Dream Homes, and what I like about it is that, for one, the host is this very flamboyant, very big-hearted, flamboyant gentleman, colorful character, and he finds dream homes for lottery winners and people who come into money. Now, you would think lottery winners as in multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, but no, these are people that have won maybe 500,000. Some of them won, 500,000, got an inheritance. Some of them won 1 million or 2 million. And so when they are in a modest apartment or home and they're looking for their dream home, it's significantly different than what your idea of a dream home might be. And I find that fascinating. And I find it fascinating. He goes on that journey with them and he's delighted in their good luck. And he's delighted to find him a home that will support their dream. So, thank you. So, this whole conversation is about supporting your dream. So, there's another thing I did. I worked in a lot in Millionaire Lottery, the hospital lottery. And I worked in some of their homes selling tickets. That was a lot of fun. Met a lot of interesting people. No one wanted to keep the home. They were all going to take the cash. Um, and so some of the homes were just put out and sold again, tickets sold again. But for me, to work in these homes in these neighborhoods, in the beginning, they were, ocean view, beautiful, beautiful homes. And so I got a chance to imagine living in a home like that. So when you're dreaming, then you, in that way, and have an experience with that, then you start to figure out what's important to you. And so at one point, my dreams were big. And now they're not so big. And it's not because I'm not dreaming bigger, it's because it's changed. So I don't want my dream home. I don't need a 10,000 square foot home. But what I do want is a home on property with trees and an ocean view. And I'd be happy with 3,000 square feet. Now, for some people, that'd be huge. But I do have family that comes to visit. So, I want a home that has the room to have family in and it not be crowded and cramped. But I want to be able to walk out into a backyard with trees and birds singing and hear the waves and feel the wind and not have neighbors peering in on me. That's my dream. So for me, in the area that I live in and currently I would like to stay in, that is a lot of money. And you don't find 3,000 square foot homes on that type of property. There are huge homes and I want a home that big. But that's what I've come around to. So you have these dreams where you think this is important. And then as you go along, it changes. You realize what is really important to you. So money is just about giving you freedom to perhaps travel, not worry, to help your family out. It becomes when you worked with the dream for so long, you realize It's not about the things anymore. Now, that may change. That I'm older than perhaps some of you watching this, probably most of you watching this. And so my desires have changed. And maybe yours haven't. But what it all boils down to is that we all have dreams. We end up curating them for ourselves, right? Through our attention, what we pay attention to, um, what we allow ourselves to believe is possible, and what we expose ourselves to. So to dream bigger, I mean, Donald Trump dreams big. Gotta give him that. He dreams big. He dreams big. I'll give him that. And who wants, you could perhaps dream that big too. I don't know. I don't know whether you'd want to. But we're all here on this planet for an experience that's unique to us. And we don't always know what that is. We can have a glimpse of it, a feeling about it. So I want you all to take a deep breath right now. Let it go. And I'd like you to just allow yourself to relax, for your shoulders to relax, for you just to be in this moment in time. And allow for possibilities, infinite possibilities, knowing that whatever you dream is possible. Now, it does require action, and it does require an intent, and it does require the wherewithal to do it. So a couple of different factors, but if you can't begin that kind of dream process of believing that something is possible, of playing with it, then you'll never begin that first step there. And that's how businesses are built. That's how houses are built. I mean, it's like so many things. People have a dream about something, and then they find a way to put it into motion, or not. Sometimes it just gets set on a shelf for 10 years and then looked at again. Perhaps it's something that you're planning for the future. Perhaps. So, with that, I want to pick one card for you. I also want to show you this. Look at that. Is that not pretty? I have a thing for quartz crystals. I don't really, I mean, there are other crystals that I like, but there's something about quartz crystals that just call to me. They hold a frequency and energy. This one was given to me by a friend who didn't want it anymore. I was like, oh yes, please. What I have done with this, because this has quite a big divot in this, and I have put, I had knee injections, and I had picked up cortisone because they do cortisone first and then the hyaluronic acid, and I put the cortisone underneath this until I went into the doctors. And I wanted the cortisone not to be harmful to my body, because cortisone's not great, right? And guess what? It did the trick. It certainly did the trick. So that's this beauty here. So, a card for you, and then we'll be done. And then we'll be done for today. Oh my goodness. I guess you need to hear this. I need to hear this. And I'm also hearing pick another card. So be patient. Same we did this a couple of days ago. There are no hands on this clock because there is no time. And we don't know how everything's going to play out, what it's going to look like, how much time it's going to take. We just don't know. And if everything's happening in one moment at a time, then it's already happened somewhere. In some other timeline, it's already happened. I don't know whether anyone else has ever had the experience of feeling like, okay, here's a couple of things. My husband and I drove down the coast of the Pacific Northwest, and we have been driving and stopping in hotels and driving and stopping in hotels. We had our dog with us, and I was just, I don't know, I think we were 3 days into it, and we hit Carmel, California. And my husband said, do you want to, shall we get off here and have a look at Carmel? And I was like, literally, I was like, whatever. And he said, well, I'm going to get off. I said, okay then. So we got off. And I'm glad we did. It's a sweet little place. And we stayed in a place called the Lamplighters Inn. And we splurged to spend a night there. And I wasn't going to. And then they said, well, let us show you the suite. And I said, oh, it's lovely, but no. And so they took the price down, and then they mentioned that they had a breakfast and they had a happy hour, and it was all included in the cost. And we said, okay, all right, we shall do this. We'll live the life of the rich and famous. Well, not really, but I think it was $300 US for the night or something. And they did. They had a lovely breakfast, and they had a wine and cheese. We met some beautiful people, walked down the beach. It's just a lovely little town. Anyway, just to say, like when we got there and I got out, I realized I felt like I was way back, that I hadn't caught up with where we were. My body, my being, my soul was way back, 100 miles up the coast, probably still in Oregon or something. So that's one, for me, that was a palatable. And the other is that sometimes I've been getting into my car, getting out of my car, and it's like a bit of and it feels like I've been somewhere else and just come back, just landed again in this reality. So I don't know whether that happens to you at all, whether you turn a corner, whether things seem a little bit different. And so my theory on this is that as we are working through our triggers, as we're working on our healing, and healing just remembering who we really are, working through the layers of the trauma, perhaps, or the mistakes, or the mistaken ideas we have about ourselves or life or whatever. And as you work through that, it's like the timeline shifts a little bit. So you're on one timeline, walking on one timeline, and then you've done whatever, and it's not like a huge aha. It's frequently not a huge aha. Sometimes it is. Most of the time it's subtle. There's not like a sense of like, I did it. There's just a bit relief, peace, maybe a bit of a sigh. But I think what happens is that this timeline you're on merges with another timeline. And then off you go, you walk in that timeline, because you've changed the timeline through your thoughts, your actions. Take or leave it. That's what it feels like to me. You can change the timeline of your life, where you go, and it's, it happens to everyone. It's just whether you notice it or not, whether you look back and go, oh, well, if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't be here. And I'm sure if you look back on your life, you can see that. You've literally changed the timeline. Well, there's lots of little things you do that do the same thing. It's not always one big thing. Okay. So become a clear channel, and I'm hearing become a clear channel for your life so that you can hear your guides. You can hear the information that they want you to know that says turn this way, go that way, don't do this, please do this. Take some time to get outside. They have all sorts of information for you, and you just have to be open to it. And you can ask a question. That's all. You just ask a question. What do you want me to know today? What's the best way for me to drive to going to where I'm going? Do I go this way or do I go that way? I mean, there's simple things that are so nothing, just part of your life. But every time you do that, you are strengthening your connection to your guides and your higher self that only wants what's best for you, right? Only wants what's best for you. Okay. And okay, they're going at it again. One more. And shuffle. And see. And I'm looking at a card. I've got a desk here with a glass top on it, and I put underneath the glass cards that I've received and from different people. And the one that keeps catching my eye is have a ridiculously amazing day. So remember that. Have a ridiculously amazing day. Live your soul, not your role. So, what's your role? Your role is mother. Your role is parent. Your role is, I don't know, business owner, salesperson, waitress, whatever. That's just a role. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. So live your soul who's come here with a unique expression to gift the world with, in whatever way that is. And there's so many people I know that are doing that. And you're doing that too, even though you don't think you are. Especially when you don't think you are. You usually are. You're usually quietly going about living your soul, not your role. Sharing your light and sharing your love with the world. So have a ridiculously amazing day, my peeps. And a shout out to everyone that watches this, that is checking in with their guides and their intuition. Give me a shout out. Let me know what you want to know. Let me know what you want to talk about. I'm happy to go there with you. And we could have some fun. So take care. I say goodbye for now. Till next time. Bye.